do and your responsibilities in the volunteer program. Then your support system, whom you can reach out to for anything, any questions that you have to ask, who will those support system be? And then the next step after the call, what we will be doing over the weekend or the next week before we start uh, our program, right, Shanaz? All right. So before I tell about this, can I just get a thumbs up if you know what Teach for India is, if you've heard about it in any platform, any way, if you have any understanding? Yeah. Some thumbs ups. The ones without the videos on, if you can show the reaction, that will help me. But all right, I'm just going to go ahead. So Teach for India is a oh, thank you, Deepa. Deepa was a TFI student, right? So Teach for India is a non-profit organization which believes that leadership for education is the solution, right? And the goal is to build a movement of leaders. Those will eliminate the educational inequity that we face right now. And a lot of us would be familiar with it. A lot of us may have experienced it, the inequality in education that we get. And the goal of Teach for India is the mission of Teach for India is to create a movement of leaders. Those will help eliminate that inequity in education. And what model does Teach for India use to achieve that mission or achieve that goal? One is the fellowship program that me, Samrat, as well as Shanaz was a part of. There is a 2-year long fellowship that we are part of, and we work our place in a school and we work there. And the second part is the alumni movement, which is once you have completed your fellowship, as an alumni, what kind of impact can you create? Can you scale your impact from just one classroom to multiple classrooms or maybe different communities, right? So these are the two models that Teach for India uses to achieve the goal or push towards the mission, the bigger mission that they have, right? Shanaz, right? And whereas our mission is to create a movement of leaders to eliminate educational inequity, we also have a vision, and it's a very concrete vision, which says that one day all children will achieve an excellent education. And if you notice, one thing is all children. We are not talking about one child or just TFI students or just few children that we are working with. The goal of Teach for India is the vision is to make sure that all children one day can achieve an excellent education. And over the last 1.5 to almost 1.5 year, right? What has happened? Uh, the pandemic, COVID-19, became a huge challenge for us, right? Towards our progress, towards our vision, and schools have been shut for 1.5 years in few states. They opened for a while in few states. They are on and off, but the continuity of the school has stopped. uh, and 90% of the students, that's the data that shows us that 90% of the students have lost the language ability, which is what they're learning. They've forgotten, the retention is not there. And 80% of the students have lost mathematical uh, ability, right? Because the schools are not happening, everything is online. A lot of students are unable to access uh, education. And when Teach for India, along with other partners, did a research to understand how long will it take for us to bridge that gap, how long will it take for us to bring students back to where they were. And the data shows us that it's going to take at least 10 years for us to bring students back on the level that they were at, right? To bridge that gap that has been lost in these 1.5 years. So that's almost 10 times the time that we will take to just bridge the gap that we have lost in over last 1.5 year, right? That's a huge challenge that we have been facing as teachers, as students, as parents, as an organization, right? So, uh, Shahnaz, right? And and we realized, even though we have leveraged the virtual space very well to teach students, we have realized the importance of having a physical that we do need schools to reopen again. And the safest way to reopen school is, we do understand the need of reopening school, but we also know there are challenges, there are risks to reopening schools. And we have realized the safest way to do that is to vaccinate the members of the community, the students and the parents of the students, the members in the communities. Once they are vaccinated, we know it's safer, it will be relatively safer to reopen the schools. And what our current reality tells us is 14% of the members in the community are partially vaccinated, means at least they've gotten one dose of one of the vaccines, right? But what our goal for this year is, by the end of December 2021, we want to take that number from 14% all the way to 80%. Okay. And there are some of the reasons that we are seeing, right? Some of the reasons those are occurring why we have such low numbers in our communities, number of vaccinations in our communities. One is just basic lack of awareness about where the vaccines are happening, what is the need of the vaccine, why is it even required, right? The second is low digital literacy and access. Not all the members in the community have access to smartphones or even internet, right? And even if they do, not all of them are very uh, 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 what word I'm missing out the word, but they're not very um, they're not used to using their. Thank you, Shahnaaz, for clarifying. So they're not used to going on the site, doing their registration, understanding where they can get the vaccine from, what the process would be. So that has been a big challenge. And the third part is something that you all must have noticed somewhere, someone you must have talked to, is the hesitancy, right? There's a hesitancy of getting the vaccine. Okay, is it safe? Is it not safe? What is it? What's it going to do? There's a lot of misinformation out there as well, right? I've gone through last few slides very fast. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop for 2 minutes and ask if you have any questions till now. If no one has any question, can you just give me a thumbs up so that I know? Since, thank you, Amu. Thank you, Anush. Thank you, Dipya. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, Abhipsha. Thank you, Mrunmay. Thank you, Saini.
Deepa, can you share why you were hesitant?
So, like he said that there were many rumors and stuff. So even my parents were talking about that. So I was like, is it safe? Is it not safe? So I was like, nahi jana chahiye. But then I talked to my parents and got them vaccinated too.
Amazing. So I mean, like, it's a very, very common issue, and like, we for us, maybe awareness is much easier, right? Like, you go to you know what to trust, what not to trust. You talk to experts, you get to know whether this is right or wrong. So that decision making is very much easier for us. While if you look at our community members, the people we serve, right, the kind of misinformation they've heard, we've done surveys with all of the people of our community. We've heard all sorts of things. You will become magnetic, you will lose your reproductive abilities, you will uh, adults will start behaving like kids if they take the vaccine. And it's not the vaccine, it's water in a vial. So you hear a lot of these things from the people. While it's amusing, at in a certain level it's also very scary, right? It has stopped them from actually going ahead and taking the vaccine. Many of them also don't know what a vaccine is. They say कि मुझे कुछ हुआ नहीं है, तो why should I take the vaccine? I am not ill, right? So because they think it's a medicine. So that basic awareness that for us we have the privilege of knowing. Most of the parents of our children that we teach at Teach for India, they do not, and which is why only 14% of them have actually gone ahead and taken the first dose of the vaccine. The longer they wait, the more they are at risk of getting COVID. We are now anticipating a third wave. And that means, again, people are going to be at risk. And if our community members, get affected, they do not have the privilege of affording treatment the same way that everyone else does, right? Yeah, Anush, are you also a TFI student? Would you like to share what you've heard in the community?
No, I'm not a TFI student, but I belong the community and I live in a community. So I know people saying that the rumors, like believing on the rumors and not taking the vaccine, the vaccines are not safe and all that stuff. So I have volunteered for TFI, getting vaccinated, everyone.
Thank you so much. I just want to again reiterate how very important the work that you are going to do is, because there is literally nothing more important than getting people vaccinated during a pandemic. The reality is right now we might be very used to the fact that it's a COVID-19 pandemic, but um, we are living in this very dangerous world right now where we need uh, for people to get vaccinated, for them to be safe, for their families to be safe, for our children to be safe, and for schools to finally restart. The effect of this pandemic is going to be there for years to come. And all of us need to ensure that everyone around us, everyone who do not have the privilege to actually have access, right? It's very easy for us to go and get the vaccine. You know how to use COVID. Our parents don't. They don't know कि OTP क्या होता है, how do you register, what do you type. If you don't know how to type on, if you don't know how to read and write, how are you going to even use the phone to get yourself registered, book a slot, get a vaccine, right? So we have been able to get in touch with partners, like people who are ready to give us vaccines. So we have vaccine partners, right? They are ready. They have enough doses. They will do a camp whenever we are able to give them the data. But it is difficult because we are working with 7,000 children. That means there are 14,000 parents, right? And reaching all of them, getting to know, have you taken the vaccine, not taken the vaccine, why have you not taken the vaccine? That's very tough. It's very slow. We are 3 people here who are actually tasked with this job. And we have gotten 1,000 people vaccinated. But we need your help to ensure that we can get everyone else and get them, we are ready to vaccinate 1,000 people in a day if we have the correct information, and if they can, if you can mobilize them to come to the centers, right? So I'm gonna hand it over back to Akhand to take you through your role. What are the responsibilities? How what it'll look like? Samrat, will you be able to share the screen? Samrat, are you there? All right, I'll just share the screen. Yeah.
While Shanaz is sharing the screen, I will also tell how Shanaz just said how important it is to get the parents vaccinated, the members in the community vaccinated, because it has not just in the fact that they are at risk of getting sick and then they will not have access to treatment. The impact of them not being well also affects their livelihood, which in turn affects our students as well. Their education gets affected, and these are certain things that in last 1.5 years while working with the organizations, we have felt firsthand, we have seen firsthand the impact that a small incident in a family can have on a student's life. And this is something that can impact them for lifetime. So again, not to overdo it, but just to say it again, that how important this is, the fact that it may sound like it's just like a vaccination drive, but the importance that may be the getting vaccination for us is and getting vaccination for the members of the community, the uh, importance is very different. Like for us, we are thinking about it's just vaccination, and but for them, there are so many different hidden uh, problems, challenges that they have to go through to if they are not vaccinated, or if they do end up getting COVID, right? So can we move to the next slide? Yeah, they cannot get jobs if they are not vaccinated, and that has been a big problem. A lot of parents have reached out saying that can when can we get vaccinated? Some of them, if when they got to know ki acha, but then again there are a lot of hesitancies. They have lack of resources, they have lack of access to how they can get, and that is where your role and responsibility comes into, right? That is what we will be working on. So there are three major things that you will be working on. So one thing is community database, and we cannot have CAMP without accurate data. As Shanaz mentioned, we do have vaccines available. We have partners, those are willing to give us the vaccine, willing to get the members, the parents in the community vaccinated. But what we lack is a very strong database for all the members, parents of the community about their vaccination, about their registration, if they do have their registration on CoWIN app, if they have been vaccinated, how many doses have they gotten, which one have they gotten. It's a lot of data to collect, and with just three of us, it has been a huge challenge to just get that done, right? To create a database of 14,000 plus members or people, it becomes a huge challenge. So with all of you, one of the biggest responsibility that you're going to have will be creating this database along with us, helping us create this database. The second responsibility that you guys are going to have is mobilizing during the vaccination drives, right? So we will have vaccination drives at different camps. They may be at hospitals, or they may be at schools, they may be at a government office or a building, one of those places. And on these days, on the days when the camps are happening, what you have to do is you have to call the parents, tell them the location, let them know about the timing, if they have not been able to reach, sort of follow up. And if you are in the city and if you are willing to, it would be a huge help if you can come at the centers, the vaccination centers where we are doing the camp, and help us there to collect details about if they're getting vaccinated, sort of smoothen out the process of them getting the vaccination so that they don't reach the center and are confused, right? If we are there as point of contact for them, it becomes very easy for us as well as for the parents to come and get the vaccination done without going through so much hassle, right? And the third would be to advocate for vaccination, right? And uh, as you said, right, there are so many rumors, misinformation that is already there about vaccination. There are so many things that parents may not know about the pros of getting the vaccine. What you have to do is, when you're talking, when you're interacting with them, you will get to understand that they may have uh, heard, read, or gotten to know about some rumors, some misinformation that's holding them back. And you have to tell them about what the importance of vaccination is, tell them about what the science is, what the accurate information is, what the experts are saying. So that is a conversation that you're going to have, right? I think Deepa has already started doing that with her parents. So that's right. But these are the three major roles and responsibilities that you will have. One will be collecting the database, helping Shahnaz, me, and Samrat to build a database of all the parents, all the members in the community, create about the vaccination, their complete details. The second would be mobilizing during the camps. If you are available physically, you would if you can come to the vaccination camps and drives, be there, help us out with the process of parents coming in, showing their registration and getting the vaccination done. If you are not in the city, if you are doing it virtually, you are somewhere in a different place, you can help us out by coordinating with the parents, right? Giving them information about when it's going to happen, what time will it be happening, and if there is anything, let's say a parent has missed out or was unable to reach, just coordinating on that to see when we can fit them in and what kind of support we can provide so that they can their process of getting vaccination becomes smoother and easier, right? We don't want them to stand in lines and wait all day to just get the vaccine, right? We want to make it a good experience for them as well when they come and get the vaccine. And the third is going to be just advocating for the vaccine, just telling them the uh, pros of the vaccine, what the accurate information, what the science is telling us, what the experts are telling us, and sort of weed out all the misinformation and rumor that they have. I will stop again for a couple of minutes. I want to know if you have any questions regarding these three roles and responsibilities, if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share, any thoughts.
Thank you, Deepa. If everything is clear, then you can give us a thumbs up.
So I have a question. So I wanted to know what kind of questions do you get back from the parents, like, the difficult ones, so that you can prepare us for those before we speak to them, because some of them they might be a bit shocking for us, or we might not have something to say back to them. So I'm sure you're well aware, so you can train us on that.
Absolutely. So I wanted to I was going to share anyway the same thing that one, it is a very good way for you to interact with one of our community members, right? The phone call. Two, it is going to be challenging because if you first call them, they'll be like, who are you? Who is this random person calling me and asking about all of these details? There are details, there are a lot of scam calls, right? So we will tell you exactly what to say so that they have the trust. They know who we are, right? So if you say Teach for India, they'll be like, what? Many parents are not aware that their children are studying in a Teach for India classroom, but they'll know the Didi or the Bhaiya's name, the teacher's name. So you have to tell them that, hey, I'm calling from the school. This Bhaiya has given me the number, and right, and etc. etc. Then other challenging questions, definitely they'll be like, one extreme is that if what if something happens to me, who will take responsibility? You are not, right? We need to make our communication in such a way that they are taking the they are making that choice after getting all the information they want. You can answer their questions, right? So I have diabetes, can I take the vaccine? Yes, you can. I have this, can I take the vaccine? Yes, you can. If they have any doubts, any apprehensions, tell them. There'll be a doctor at the vaccination camp who will answer all of your questions. If you are not 100% sure, don't, right? You go talk to a doctor, but talk to a doctor. We follow up. Aapne baat kiya kya doctor se? Like they'll say they'll talk, but they'll never talk, because it's not an emergency situation for them, right? Not until and unless somebody actually falls ill will they take it seriously. Because everyone is used to it. Nobody wears a mask in any of our communities. It's not a thing. Like, they have been living like that for a year. Like there is no COVID. They don't believe in it. They'll be like, "Aap government ki taraf se bol rahe ho. This is a scam. This is the scam by the BJP government to get our community members. They'll become, they'll not be able to reproduce anymore. You will work towards eliminating." A lot of things like this can happen, right? But you have to, like, when you are answering the questions, you have to say that, hey, I'm here to give you information. I have taken the vaccine. Nothing has happened to me. My parents, my family members have taken the vaccine. So that is some sort of giving confidence that if the person who's talking to me has taken it, nothing happened to them, right? Then it will become more familiar, right? We will now, this is the first phase, we'll just do one-on-one interactions. Later on, if we see that there are more parents who are very hesitant, we'll get them on a Zoom call, get a doctor invited, and let them speak to the doctor, right? So we'll have to navigate these ways. What we will also do, Akhand will tell you, is that we'll give you a workbook with frequently asked questions that the parents may ask, right? What you can say, what you shouldn't say, and a script that you can follow while having the conversation, at least the initial bit, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for that question, Divya. I hope I answered it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions?
Hi. My question was that do they really pick up our calls? Because obviously for them it's from an unknown number. So
They mostly will, because we've also done it. We've called 100, 200 random people, and they do call and pick up the call. If they are not picking up the call, what we are also going to do is share the number of their teacher, right? The fellow who's there. So if they are not picking up, if the number is invalid, you just tell the fellow, or you tell us, we'll tell them ki this student has not been reachable. Can you talk to them? And then, before you all call also, your names will be given to the fellow will inform the students that a person named this will call you, right?
Okay, all right.
So they will have that initial information. Hi Ambika, I think you missed a bit, but I think her audio is not connected. It will take some time, but yeah, thank you so much for that question. Any other questions?
Yeah, just one question.
Yeah, Tanvi, you can go, then Abhipsha, and Ashwini, I'll answer your question first. Yes.
Just wanted to ask, for how many months are we required to be engaged with this plan?
So we are hoping that we get over with covering all of our parents in 1.5 months. Okay. So if we are able to do that, then that will be it. And also, it's not like it will happen every day that you have to do something, because sometimes, like if you have a camp on Saturday, maybe you would have to call the parents and inform them the day before. And if you've already made all of your calls, then you wouldn't have to do anything for the rest of the week. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ashwini, so the language mostly Hindi, if you know Marathi, and if the person speaks Marathi, then Marathi. But mostly everyone does understand and speak Hindi.
लेकिन जिसको पॉसिबल है नहीं, वो मराठी में बात कर सकता है, इट विल बी मोर कन्वीनियंट अगर पॉसिबल हो तो, अदरवाइज हिंदी इज गुड.
Like if you can speak in Marathi and the person also speaks Marathi, that'll actually build that trust thoda zyada. You can convince people in Marathi much better. So, but it's fine. If not Marathi, Hindi works. Abhipsha, you had a question?
Yes, I was just asking, like, as we'll call and they'll say, okay, हम जाएंगे. Where at that point of time they'll be not present there. So how to deal with that type of situation?
Yeah, it happens a lot when when we tell them there's a drive, and then they have all signed up and all, and they'll not come. But what we do definitely while telling them, firstly, we collect all of the data. Next, when there's a camp, we let them know and tell them to come. What we also tell them that, you know what, we are booking this slot for you. If you don't take this vaccine, the vaccine is going to get wasted, and somebody else who could have taken it will not get it. Because that is actually true. Because when we give names, we give 200 names, and if those 200 people don't show up, the other vials are wasted because there is nobody to take that vaccine. And these are expensive vaccines which are paid for, and also life-saving. So when we communicate with them, we just tell them that make sure that you come. If you can't come, please tell me 1 day ahead so that somebody else can get it. Okay, and they will come. On the day of the vaccination also, we'll call them in the morning ki aap aa rahe ho na pakka. So we'll work around that. Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. That's a very important question.
And who is our mentor?
Yes.
Mentor. Who is our mentor? मतलब mentor आप होंगे या फिर?
So Akhand and Samrat are going to be your mentors. Okay.
Okay.
So you are mapped to either Akhand or Samrat, whoever has actually contacted you. So they will guide you through the process. Whenever you have any questions, you can reach out and ask them.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more thing before we move on is that we will be helping them register on COVID, and I will also share a confidentiality agreement with you because they would be sharing their Aadhaar card numbers with you, right? Now we trust you that you will not use that information anywhere else, and you will not save it in anywhere else also. You will only assist them in getting their registration. All right. And I hope we can maintain that bar always. All right. Please give me a thumbs up if that is clear, because that is very, very important. Thank you, Anush. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Saini. Thank you, Divya. Tanvi, Ashwini, Ambika. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, Tanvi. Great. Thank you, Mrunday. Awesome. Akhand, over to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Shanaz, for answering all the questions, and thank you everyone for asking those questions. My internet has gotten really bad. It started raining where I am. So I will keep my video off for a while and move on. I hope that's okay with everyone.
Yes, thank you, Akhand. No problem.
Yeah. All right. Great. So what we are going to do next is we are going to look at the support system that we have. And I think this was a question that was already raised, who we will be reaching out to. So your first point of contact for anything that you would need, any questions that you have, anything that parents must have asked and you are unable to answer, or there is some challenge a recurring challenge that keeps coming back again and again, your first point of contact is going to be the community advisor who's mapped to you. So you will either be mapped to Samrat or me. So you can reach out to us. If for any reason there is we are not available or we are unable to reply back, or there is something that we are unable to answer or help you out with, your second point of contact is going to be Shahnaz, who's also on the call right now. And if both of these things don't work, or if there is anything very specific that you want to ask, something related to the fellowship, something related to something that both Shahnaz, Samrat, and I are not equipped to answer, you can reach out to our HR, and we will share the HR's email ID with you as well. Shahnaz, can we? Thank you. So again, now we have already covered what our roles and responsibilities are going to look like. So now we are just going to look at some of the next steps that we will be doing over the next week. Yes, Shahnaz? Yeah.
Yes.
So over the next week, what are some of the next steps? One is going to be the volunteer workbook. As Shahnaz mentioned, we will be sharing a script which will act as a guide for you. Try to stick as close to the script as possible, but there is no punishment for not sticking to the script, right? Try to get the parent as comfortable as you want. Try to be as comfortable as you want, right? Because it's something that's very intimate, something where you are interacting to the parent, you're talking about their health, their future, and the necessity of vaccination, and they should trust you. Always following a script like let's say if like someone from a call center would not generate that trust. So use that script to sort of navigate your initial few conversations so that you also get to know and get into a habit of what the conversation can go like. And the second is going to be a list of frequently asked questions that all of us have experienced, have been asked, and the answers that you can give based on those questions, right? Because as Shahnaz mentioned, uh, we are not pushing them to get the vaccination. We are just giving them the right information and making sure that they make the choice by themselves. If they are completely कि नहीं लगवाना है, we cannot say नहीं आपको लगवाना ही पड़ेगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. We are not going to guarantee anything to them. We are only going to give them anecdotes. We are going to give them experiences. We are going to give them the information that we have so that they can make a very informed decision, right? There is going to be a pre-work that we will be sharing with you over the weekend that you have to go through before we start the program or you start reaching out, calling the parents. The after that we will share with you the first batch of numbers and parents that you will be reaching out to. After that, it's going to be we will be setting a weekly target. I think Shahnaz, we want to share the weekly target right now.
No, so depending on how much data we get, we will not get over like 70 for a week. So that maybe you can call it 10 people a day.
Yeah. So there will be a weekly target based on the number of contacts we have, the data that we have. And again, this is something that you can do at your own time. We know we have shared over the post that you need around 5 to 6 hours of commitment over the week. But take your call, right?
It is varied. So like there's no like, oh, you have to call from 3 to 4. You just have to keep in mind that you should call not too late at night or not too early in the morning. Whenever you can call a person in a decent manner, that is the time you pick out from your schedule and call them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So you will have a weekly target of how many people to call, who you will be reaching out to, and every week you will have a meeting, sort of like a group meeting with the POC you are assigned to. So either Samrat or me, we will have a call together with whoever is assigned to us. And I think you would already know because we reached out to you over WhatsApp. So you will have a weekly meeting with the POCs where we can discuss our challenges, our next steps, how we are doing, what we are learning, and share our experiences, right?
I just also want to say this very important part. All of you in your email IDs that you shared with us, you have gotten an email from Shanoli, who is our HR manager. Okay, she has sent you an email which has a child protection policy. Okay, because you are working with Teach for India and you have to go through the policies that we have for volunteers also to interact with children just in case, and a simple code of conduct. You just need to go through that and give an assessment. Okay, there's a Google form that you need to fill. It is not difficult. They ask questions that are based on simply on common sense. Go ahead and give that assessment and reply back to Shanoli. Okay, then you will officially become a volunteer and you can get your certificate. If you do not submit the assessment, you will not be able to get registered as such. Okay. If you have any questions regarding the assessment, you can ask me. I'll also share it on the WhatsApp group, the policy and the assessment. Okay. You have to score above 90% for you to be eligible. Okay. If you make mistakes, you give it again. All right, till you get 90% mastery on that assessment. Yeah, it's very important for us. I think that's about it. That is all that we have from our end. Do you have any other questions for us?
One question I have is that can we contact them on WhatsApp instead of giving them a direct call?
is it, are you asking this year in Ireland?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you can try. Most children here don't keep their internet on all the time because there's this limited internet pack, right? So they would always switch it off if they're not using. So we can definitely try. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good.
So you can
And then
definitely try. If their internet is on, you will be able to reach them. You can call them there as well.
okay. And the other question I have is that you mentioned that will we be calling the children or the parents, like
You will
on
be
their whose
calling
number?
the parents, but the child might pick up as well, right? So you have to tell them that I want to talk to your parents. That's
Okay. So the numbers that you have that you'll be sharing with us are of the parents.
yes, because all of them are young children. They don't actually have their own phone or anything.
Right. And then do we talk to both the parents one by one or just one parent? And
Just one parent get information about both the parents from that one parent.
okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
One more thing that I will also share is that with regards to volunteer safety, because like you will be reaching out to these people now, all of them are children, and there might be cases where people start texting you, or they might start reaching out to you or saying stuff, right? So if there is anything that is making you uncomfortable, first you do not interact with them beyond that call. Okay, unless they are calling you for a doubt which is regarding vaccinations, do not take their calls. Okay, anything other than that, it's not your responsibility. You are not supposed to interact with them at all. Okay, because we don't want this to become an issue for you. You should not feel uncomfortable at any point of time. If somebody says anything that is making you uncomfortable, immediately let Akhand or Samrat know, okay? And we will deal with that situation. And hopefully this does not happen, but I'm just saying just in case, because you will be reaching out to a lot of people, right? Anybody, if they start bothering you or anything, just let us know, okay? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yes.
Shana's just one last question
Yes.
is that if like they miss a call, do they like what is generally the rate of them calling back, or do we have to reach out again in case?
So ideally you reach out again, okay, but they would call back also.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
they generally do call back, but in case you see it's been a couple of hours they haven't called back, try and call again. We call them twice. If they don't pick up, we'll just mark it for that time. Okay.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Sorry to bother you.
Not at all.
So how do we give you a list of people who have confirmed? Like, because it is possible that some might say that yeah we'll go, but like you can tell from their voice that they're not convinced. But so on what basis do we give you that list?
So I'm gonna share a Google sheet with you where while you are calling, you're filling that data in, okay? In very simple yes, no format. And there is a comment section, okay? So anything other specific they have asked, you haven't been able to answer, or you think it's a concern, just write it there, okay?
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
you will be taking that notes. You don't have to make your own notes and then share it with us. You will all do it on a sheet.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? If not, can everyone give me a thumbs up? Thank you, Anush. Thank you, Rangi. Thank you, Abhipsha. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you, Ambika. It was great interacting with all of you. I am looking forward to this, and please remember how important this is right now for everyone. We need to ensure that this actually happens so that everyone is safe. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I will see you another time. Bye bye.
Right,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye, guys. And feel free to reach out to me or Akhand or Shahnaz in case of anything. We will be definitely there for you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.